So with this first one, we're going to be doing this blurred photo like we can see here. And I have the photo opened up in Photoshop. And what I'm going to do is come right up here to this selection box, the rectangular marquee. And I'm just going to draw a marquee over half of the face. Once I have it drawn over half the face, I'm going to come up here to filter, blur, and I'm going to do some motion blur. And by default, the angle's at 0, and that works for us. If you want to change the angle, you can do that as well. But for this one, we want to keep it at 0, so it's nice that it defaults there. Then we're going to find a good distance for the blur, whatever looks nice for your photo. And I kind of like that at about 100. So again, that's filter, blur, and motion blur. And I've got it blurred out. And you'll notice that this side isn't really as dark as this side anymore. So I'm going to come up here to Image, Adjustments, and Brightness Contrast. And I'm going to adjust the contrast. I'm going to bring that up to get some darker areas. I'm also going to drop the brightness as well, just to make it a little bit darker, a little bit more contrasted, like that. The final part is we're going to get rid of this blur. If it doesn't show up like that, we got to go Windows, Workspace, Reset Essentials, but let me check that specific thing after this, okay? So I'm going to come up here to the blur tool, which is this little like water drop. I'm going to set the strength to 100%. And I will adjust the brush size, hardness at 0, size about 100, maybe needs to be bigger for yours. And I'm just going to draw a little blur on this middle of the photo a few times, just clicking and drag, just to give it a nice little natural blur at this line. And I'm just kind of clicking and blurring these areas out. And that's looking pretty good. So from here, File, Export, Quick Export as Ping, and I will save it with my name and Cubist 1. So for me, Winchettle, Cubist 1, and then click Save.